Okay, so stop comparing Claude Managed Agents to n8n, okay? Because that comparison alone tells me you probably don't understand what's changing within the AI space right now, because this really isn't about which tool is better than the other. You're talking about two entirely different systems here, right? And so if you're building the wrong one, you're probably going to be wasting your time in the whole of 2026. Let me show you, or let me explain exactly what I mean by this, okay? So n8n really is a workflow automation platform. So think of it like your workflow engine. Claude Managed Agents, on the other hand, they are not like workflows at all. They are more so execution environments for reasoning. This means that they don't replace n8n. They basically break the way you think about automation entirely. Yes, what a lot of people are getting wrong, especially on like subreddit and on social media, a lot of people are thinking that this is more so like comparing Zapier versus n8n or Make versus n8n. Just pick a tool and then you're good. No, I don't agree with that. This is really like workflows versus systems that decide the workflows, okay? So they are just in two different buckets. It's like you're comparing apples to tomatoes or something, right? n8n is built on an idea that when this happens, do this and then that, okay? That is how n8n is built on. It's structured, it's predictable, it's deterministic, right? So you know what's going to happen next. But when it comes to Claude Managed Agents, they start with a goal in mind and then they figure out the steps after that. And that's like a completely different model than when you think about n8n. Now, let me make this a lot more real. So let's say you get an email, right? With n8n, you probably have a workflow where you define everything up front. You say things like, let's say, if this email contains this, then do this, extract this, send it here, update the system, and then it works. And I have a lot of videos on this channel doing exactly that. But it only works because you've already planned it ahead of time. Now, when it comes to an AI agent, you don't have to define every single step. What you just do is you give it an objective, like maybe read this email, figure out what's asking, and then decide what needs to happen next, and then do it, okay? And here's a part most people are missing. That only works if the system can think across multiple steps, right? So this won't work in n8n scenario, but it will work in with Claude Managed Agents because it can remember what it's doing, it can recover when something breaks, and it can keep going. And that's what Managed Agents actually give you. They give you things that are honestly painful to build yourself, right? So we're talking about things like memory, we're talking about things like checkpointing, we're talking about things like error recovery. So now you have a system that doesn't just execute steps for you. You have a system that can adapt even as it's working without you having to constantly interfere or without you having to plan this ahead of time. But then here's a nuance most people miss. When it comes to AI agents, they can be autonomous, right? They can plan, they can take actions, they can decide what to do next. But then on the other hand as well, because they have so much freedom to do so many things on their own, sometimes they don't come with like a built-in trigger system. They don't naturally watch your inbox. They don't naturally listen to your Slack. They don't naturally just monitor your database. Like they would only run like when something calls them or when you've given an instruction for something to call them, right? So, or when you basically explicitly set them up to run in a certain way after a certain trigger. And that's something is usually a workflow system like n8n. So even in an agent-driven world, you still need something. You still need that something to sort of like kick off your AI agent. You need that trigger, right? To detect when work should start, to detect a trigger basically. And that's why this isn't really a replacement. That is why I think this is more so like layering, right? So just think of AI agents like a brain in a box. It's incredible. It's powerful, right? But it still needs that nervous system to run, to know when it has to act, to know when it should be triggered and all that. So once you understand that, then you realize that, okay, everything is clicking at this point because now n8n becomes that nervous system you need, and now agents become the brain. And now that question changes from like you asking like, which one should I use? Is n8n better than Claude Managed Agents? And then you start asking questions like, well, okay, how do I connect them? Because they're all set up or to have like an entire system work. It looks like this. Something happens, n8n detects it, n8n sends it to an agent, and then the agent thinks and the agent makes decisions on your behalf. Maybe it would run code, maybe it will send the results back, and then n8n handles everything after that. It really comes down to you, right? It really comes down to what you define. Maybe you would want it to send emails, maybe you want it to update systems, maybe you want it to log data. That's not theory. That's what production systems actually look like, okay? Production systems would have a combination of probabilistic and deterministic, right? Now, let's talk about when you should actually use each of them. If you want to use one of the other, then use n8n when you need integrations, you need control, you need a predictable workflow, and you care about keeping data inside your own environment because you can self-host it as well. Because with n8n, like, it's open source, you can self-host it and you control everything. Now, when it comes to Claude Managed Agents, you can use it when you think the task is messy, when there's multi-steps, when it requires reasoning and all that, and when you think that the steps are not like obvious upfront, right? And you just want to hand it over to an agent to do that, because that's where AI agents shine. And I think this is really important, because if your system is too strict, if it's too regulated, or your data cannot leave your environment, then you still have n8n to rely on. Because when it comes to managed agents today, they are mostly cloud-based, they are within Anthropic's environment. So this isn't just like you making a technical decision, it comes down to an architectural decision, okay? And this is where most people are going to mess up in 2026. This is where most people are going to be choosing a wrong tool instead of like trying to use all of them in one architecture, right? They're going to try to force AI agents into workflow thinking, and they're going to try to replace workflows entirely. And if you're trying to do that, then most likely you are heading down the wrong path. The real opportunity really comes down to you combining them, getting the workflows for structure, getting agents for intelligence. And that's, in my opinion, is the stack we should be going for, right? Because once you start building like that, you stop thinking like, oh, do I just need automations? And you start thinking more so like, I need a real system to build stuff for me. Yeah, and that's a shift that's happening right now. So no, I don't think n8n is going anywhere anytime soon. And I don't think that Claude Managed Agents are going to be replacing n8n. I do think that they are redefining this role, and the people who really understand that early, they are going to build things that most people won't even know how to start, okay? So if you're just building workflows, you're probably only seeing half of the picture right now. And so if you want to basically transition from just building workflows to building a system that combines AI agents and workflows to help you save time in your business, to help you expand on the work you do at work and all that, then these are the exact things I talk about in my paid membership community. If you're interested in joining my paid membership community, this week I am opening a few slots for founding members to join my paid membership community, and this price is so low. This is the lowest it's gonna go. So if you lock in now, you're not going to be affected anytime like the price goes up. If you lock in now, it's just gonna stay the same forever. So if you're interested in joining my community, then I'm gonna leave the link in the comment section below. Just click join the AI Hub community now, and then you get instant access to the community. Inside my community, I do have like lots of live sessions, Q&A sessions. I'll be inviting a lot of guests within the AI space as well. So if you're interested in joining that community, just use the link in the comment section below to join. If you're not subscribed to my channel, do hit the subscribe button as well. And as usual, I talk about so many AI tools on this channel. So if you want to go deeper with a tutorial, then you can do so. If you're looking for a community to build with, to help you save time, to run your business, improve efficiencies in your business, then you can also join my paid membership community. But yeah, as usual, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.